40,000 years ago, a man slipped away from his fire, walked deep into a pitch-black cave, and painted something no one else would ever see. Not for his tribe, not for ritual display, for himself alone. That single act raises a question we rarely ask. Is privacy a modern invention, or is it something humans have been protecting since before we had words for it? Strip privacy down to its core and it's simple. Information or space that you control, and others don't. That doesn't require a door, a phone, or a house. It only requires the ability to conceal something. And humans have been extraordinary at concealment for a very long time. Primatologists have documented chimpanzees hiding food from dominant males and faking indifference toward mates while rivals watch, only to circle back later. Strategic deception, performed disinterest. Chimps and humans split from a common ancestor roughly 6 million years ago, which means the instinct behind privacy may be older than humanity itself. Fast forward to early Homo sapiens, around 300,000 years ago. Archaeologists have found burial sites from this era showing deliberate positioning, pigment, and grave goods. You don't bury someone with that level of care unless you see them as a distinct individual with their own inner life. And once you have a concept of self, you inevitably develop a concept of mine versus yours, the foundation of private life. For most of human history, people lived in small bands of 20 to 50, sleeping within arm's reach of each other, with zero physical separation. No doors, no rooms. So how did privacy survive? Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer societies found the answer. Invisible social rules. Don't look when someone turns away. Don't follow when someone walks into the forest. These unspoken boundaries functioned as walls, arguably stronger than physical ones, because breaking them was a serious social violation. If uncovering how ancient behavior still shapes modern life fascinates you, subscribing means you'll never miss one of these deep dives. Sex offers one of the clearest examples. Across hunter-gatherer societies from the Amazon to the Kalahari, sex is consistently treated as something requiring concealment, cover of darkness, private arrangements, deliberate timing, even in groups with no private space at all. Why? Because in humans, sex is tangled up with jealousy, status, and alliance building. The moment intimacy becomes political, it becomes something worth hiding. Then there's the far more elusive question: did ancient humans have rich inner lives? We can't excavate a thought, but we have strong clues. The cave paintings at Lascaux and Chauvet, some dating back over 30,000 years, are frequently found deep within cave systems, chambers requiring torches and real effort to reach, far from communal gathering spaces. One compelling theory suggests these weren't public art at all, but private, possibly spiritual acts, something closer to prayer or journaling than decoration. Personal belongings tell a similar story. Archaeologists have found stones carried hundreds of miles for no practical reason, carved ochre with no survival function, and shell jewelry, items that exist purely to say this is mine, this is who I am. And personal property implies something else too: theft, hiding places, and secrets about where valuables were kept. Privacy nested inside privacy. Emotional life adds another layer entirely. Across every culture, ancient and modern, people perform emotions that don't match what they actually feel, smiling while anxious, appearing calm while panicking. This isn't a byproduct of social media. It's an ancient survival mechanism. In small, tightly bound prehistoric groups, appearing weak or unstable could mean exile, a near-certain death sentence. Managing your emotional interior wasn't a nicety, it was survival. And that requires exactly what we'd call a private self. Around 10,000 years ago, the Neolithic revolution changed the physical shape of privacy. Permanent settlements brought differentiated rooms, sleeping separated from cooking, storage separated from guest spaces. At Çatalhöyük, a Neolithic proto-city in modern Turkey dating to roughly 7,500 BCE, homes had no ground-level doors at all. People entered through a hole in the roof. Entry required deliberate permission, a striking, deliberate statement about domestic privacy nearly 10,000 years before modern architecture. Then writing arrives, and suddenly we have direct evidence. Thousands of Mesopotamian clay tablets contain personal letters, family grievances, quiet business deals, inheritance disputes dragging on for years. One of the oldest surviving letters, dated to roughly 1750 BCE, is a furious complaint about faulty copper ingots, essentially the world's first customer complaint. Buried inside it, a private relationship, a protected reputation, a grievance managed outside public view. Ancient Egypt reveals the same pattern. Alongside its monumental, public-facing culture, workers at Deir el-Medina wrote personal notes on cheap potsherds, love letters, accusations of theft, medical complaints, careful requests for favors. An entire private social world running quietly beneath the official one, only uncovered thousands of years later by archaeologists with trowels. A useful reminder: nothing stays private forever. That's not a modern anxiety. That's simply how time works. So what does this all add up to? Privacy isn't a byproduct of modern technology or social anxiety. It emerged the moment humans became self-aware enough to recognize an inner world distinct from their public presentation. And the evidence suggests that happened extraordinarily early. Every cave painter working alone in the dark, every forager hiding a prized stone, every Neolithic villager sealing their home from the street, every Mesopotamian and Egyptian quietly managing a grievance on clay or stone. All of them were protecting something that was theirs alone. Which brings us back to you, your passwords, your search history, that one desktop folder with a suspiciously innocent name. You're not uniquely secretive. You're the latest link in a chain stretching back hundreds of thousands of years. Privacy isn't something civilization invented. It's something we've been guarding since long before we had the words to explain why.